I think the case continues to grow for a strong form of selective decoupling. Otherwise, we're just allowing the CCP, we're actually funding the CCP's ability to beat us in a future war or in a technological competition. We're funding our own destruction. I think there's bipartisan concern around intellectual property theft, and the numbers are staggering. You heard some of them thrown around tonight with hundreds of billions of dollars. I think the debate is over what mechanism can you use to compel the CCP to crack down on rampant IP theft. And I think we should explore every mechanism at our disposal. I mean, one thing to do would be to threaten or to say to the CCP that unless they come into compliance with their WTO obligations and end IP theft, that we're going to consider revoking permanent normal trade relations status.
We all have recognized in the Congress, I believe in a bipartisan way, that we want to move on guardrails around artificial intelligence so that the United States can continue to lead and dominate in this space. And it's not going to be through a laissez-faire approach. I think it's going to be through working with international partners and recognizing that the CCP is oftentimes using artificial intelligence for nefarious activities. We here in the United States don't want to be using that technology for nefarious activities as well. We want to make sure that we have a risk framework, that we're not perpetuating bias, and that good can come out of this. And that is the trajectory, that's the goal of regulations or rules of the road that we want to put in place, particularly for our AI.
I think what was very clear as my takeaway from all of our witnesses here tonight is that people need to understand what investing in innovation looks like, what the guardrails need to be, and what we need to do as American investors to make sure we're still supporting innovation without giving away all of the fruits of that labor.
Do you think Congress has raised enough awareness to the American companies about those issues? Because obviously we need the corporations from the American businesses.
Yeah, well, clearly they're on notice if they've been paying attention to the work we're doing here on the Select Committee. But what I would say is, and this has been a common theme, it's people need to go into any investment that they're making in China with eyes wide open, that they could lose all of their capital, they can lose all of their data, they can lose all their intellectual property, right? And that is a very real risk that anyone who is looking to do business in China, whether they may think they're doing the right thing, they're actually enabling and abetting the Chinese Communist Party.
I think one of our goals of this committee is to just raise these issues and help create a better awareness of how things work. And of course, in the Chinese Communist Party, there's not a differential between the military applications and the private sector. And so, we want to make sure that investments in this country that are used for peaceful processes are not used for military applications that could be used against our country.